So these are some top exercises for conditioning for cyclists. Now the first couple of exercises we're going to do are using a gym ball. If you don't have one of these, you could do this either using some kind of furniture at home, sofa to lean over, a little footstool, or you can do this without the ball instead. So the first exercise I'm going to do is what we call aeroplanes. Now if you don't have a gym ball at home, you can do this in hands and knees using just one arm at a time, supporting yourself the other arm. I'm going to come and lean onto the gym ball, and I'm going to lean slightly forward so that I'm in this sort of suspended position, which is going to make my core switch on and work on the stability of my back. My chin is pointing down towards the floor, so I'm not looking ahead of me, scrunching up with my neck, I'm looking down and forwards. Okay, from here I'm going to bring both arms off to the side and then back down. Exhale, using those shoulder blades. Now this is a great stabilizer for the shoulders. This is also going to help work on the core and the balance as well. I'm going to progress that now by exhaling, lifting up, and I'm going to reach the hands forwards, back down and lower. As I do this, I'm trying to keep my back position nice and soft, and I'm trying to keep the ball as still as possible. So number one, we start with just a lift out, like we're going to do some skydiving, and then we open up and we dive forwards and back with those arms. Okay, so great shoulder strength stability. It's going to help you get that nice riding position with your upper back. Now we're going to use the gym ball for some lower body resistance. So coming to lay onto your back and roll down, and then place your feet here onto the gym ball. Now we're going to do some bridges. As I said before, you can do this without a gym ball, or if you've just got one of the small soft balls from Pilates, you can place that under your feet as well. This is going to really increase the work through the back line of the legs into the hips. So I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to lift off into the hips and back down. As you can see, as I lift up, the ball is moving, so I'm having to work really hard through my hips, my glutes, and through the stability muscles in my core to keep myself on the ball. Now you might like to start by coming just up and down, working through the back line of the hips. Then what you can do is come up, and we can add in our little tucks. So we fold in and out. If you want to challenge yourself further, bring the feet closer together, or lift the arms off as well. Final challenge, if you're particularly wanting to work on stability on one side, you're going to step one foot here at the front of the ball. So this ball foot is just resting, you're not using it to push up. My right leg here is doing the work. So I'm going to exhale, lift up, and back down. So my right leg is working, my left leg is just there resting. And this is going to significantly increase the work that I'm doing in my hamstrings and my glutes, which is really going to help the powerful legs for getting up those hills. Great, so we'll get rid of our gym ball now. I'm going to come now continuing to work into the strength in the back of my leg. I'm going to use a TheraBand to increase the resistance that I'm feeling. You don't have to do this. You can do this with a soft ball between your knee and your leg gripped, and that will help you give you that little bit of resistance and alignment. So I'm going to take my TheraBand, I'm going to pop it around the back of my legs, and I'm going to come here into hands and knees. I'm trying to keep my back in a soft position, so I'm not dropping, I'm not arching and holding here. So I'm going to exhale, and I'm going to push back and back here. So it's just a little bit of resistance work here for gluteals. Getting the glutes switching on, getting that nice long driving position down. So imagine you're pressing down into your pedal, accelerating down through the heel. Now, if you feel okay here, we can increase the resistance by hovering the knees off as we do this. So we press back. Last two. And relax down. Little change this time. So your first one's were your leg extensions here. This next one is our donkey kick. So I'm going to fold the knee, I'm going to kick up like I'm trying to point my toe and kick it up on top of my hip. Kick, kick. That's it. So as you do this again, we're keeping the core aligned and engaged so that we're not flaring through the back. We're keeping that nice long spine position. We can add in the knee hover for a little bit more challenge for the upper body, for the core, and also for the hamstrings. Last one here, and release. Okay, let's pop those out of the way. Now, we're going to do two more exercises. So our very last one here down onto the mat is back into hands and knees. We're going to come down into our elbows to get us into that ride position and strengthen up our shoulders here. So I'm going to come into here. Now, as you can see, I'm slightly tilted down, so my hips are up high, but I'm not arching my back or rounding here. I'm keeping that long spine position. I'm going to tuck my toes under here for a hover. I'm going to stay here for a breath in and a breath out. So I want to engage my shoulders. We're mimicking that ride position. We're really loading into the core. We're going to stay here for 3 breath cycles and then lower down. Exhale, let's push off again. So as you can see, my knees are just off the floor. I'm not pushing all the way up here. My knees are floating just off. My shoulder blades are engaging down. My hands are apart. My elbows are apart. Okay, stretch back. So holding that for about 3 breath cycles should give you enough time to work into that endurance there. Okay, last exercise, we're going to come up into standing. So I'm going to step off the mat here. We're going to go into a squat position. So I want you to think again about folding at the hips. So often we see with cyclists that people get really drawn forwards and arch at the back, or really tuck backwards, and that's usually because the saddle isn't comfortable or your ride distance isn't comfortable. So I want you to think here, imagine optimal positions. We're going to fold at the hip, soft lower back, hands are here in front of us. So imagine you're just reaching towards your handlebar. We're going to lift off and down with these heels. This is a version of an exercise called drinking bird. Now, as we hold up on this next one here, we're now going to change this, so we pedal left and right down through that heel. So we're keeping our pelvis still, our collarbones open, our shoulder blades engaged, nice long neck. So we're not letting our body slump through the shoulders, we keep that connection back. Pedaling with those legs, building the strength and endurance around the legs, in the quads, the glutes, and using this action through the ankles to really condition the deep up calf and the foot. 3, 2, 1, let's release off. Great, well done. I hope you enjoyed those exercises. They're really going to build up your strength, your conditioning, specifically for cycling. You might like to set a timer, do a minute of each of those exercises, and then build it up into a circuit. And you interlace that into your practice for your cycling, your stretching, and your recovery as well.